All right, jabronis, we're back. Another week down. Another 1,000 weeks to go. Welcome back to Libretti Podcast Diary Show. I am Libretti. Thanks for being here, guys. I don't really have a lot to say today. To be quite honest, my entire existence has been focused around work and getting all that stuff done in time before I get done there, finding a job, which nobody seems to want to hire me, which is wild to me, and then packing my house, packing the LPDS compound so me and Randy can go somewhere else. Don't know where yet, so stay tuned. This might even be, probably not. This will probably be the second to last episode we record here in this particular studio before we got to pack up shop and take the circus elsewhere. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, it's just been a real crazy time. I hope you guys have been having a good week at least. Hope everything's going well for all of you. I'm trying to think if there's anything else going on. No big news headlines. So that's good, I guess. Yeah, it's been a pretty quiet week in the headlines and the tomfoolery, so I guess we should be happy about that. There were a couple of things about the president and his shenanigans, but you've seen that on social media enough this past week, so I don't need to repeat any of that stuff. Just go on a TikTok or an Instagram page and you'll see the clownery, if you will. So there's that. But we might as well get right into it. Oh, real quick, I did get the okay from the landlord here at the compound to allow me to keep my tomato plants growing, so that when I leave here in a week and I'm still going to be down in the general area for work for a few weeks after, I can still come by and tend to the tomatoes, so that it gives us a little bit of an extra window of opportunity, a stay of execution, if you will, to be able to, try to get tomatoes. There's a lot of plants now in the garden that have buds, that have small, unedible tomatoes right now. They're not ripe yet. They're not ready for the picking. So I think in a few more weeks, we could have a good handful of tomatoes. And that would, talk about a victory. When all else has failed in the world over the past couple years, we can emerge, with tomatoes. So stay tuned. Very hopeful. Eyes are on the prize. Very hopeful. Now, we might as well just get right into it. Don't have much to talk about today, so I guess that's good for you guys. You don't have to hear me rant and rave about nonsense like usual. So we'll just step into the cage.
Okay, let's run.
All right, today's Into the Cage segment is proudly sponsored by Howie's Hand Muffs. You ever find yourself sitting on your recliner and your hands start to get cold, but you don't want to put on a full blanket like a beta bitch boy? Then get yourself a Howie's Hand Muff. Howie's Muffs strap right around even the biggest of waists and provide easy access for your grubby little hands to warm up. The muff is made with organic stray dog fur to provide instant warmth as soon as your hands penetrate the entryway. So to get your Howie's Hand Muff now, call 1-800-MUFF-DIVE, and if you leave a voicemail saying, "Stuff my muff," your first muff will include a free bottle of spermicidal hand lube. I don't know what you're going to do with that bottle of lube, that serum, but it's free. It comes with the muff. I don't know. Are your hands loaded with sperms all the time? Do they need to be spermicided? I don't know. Anyway, cage fact. So, got a little update. Well, it's not an update for you guys. You probably never heard of this before, because I actually didn't either. So there's this new series that's now officially in the works through Paramount Plus, the streaming service. It's called High Fire. Now, apparently it's based on, I don't know if it's comics or just a novel series or what have you, but it's going to be a new show. I think it's going to be either a cartoon or like CGI or computer because it's starring Nic Cage, and he's the voice of the main character, Dragon, High Fire. And apparently it's a crime thriller, they said. I don't know if it's a comedy or not. It sounds like it could be a comedy, like an adult cartoon, like an adult comedy cartoon, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's a serious sort of like dark noir type of thing, but it's a crime thriller about this dragon who loves vodka and loves the movie Flashdance. And that's Nic Cage's character. So, again, that sounds like a comedy to me. It sounds like a BoJack Horseman style or something like that, where you have a main character animal who does adult things, like drinks booze and does JO and has problems, has a real, like, what do they call those? Like blue-collar character arcs, if you will. I don't know the official cinematic name for that crap when they have a protagonist who's a normal and not just a superhero all the time, but they have vulnerabilities and flaws. Well, that's what this is. So I don't know for sure if it's going to be a comedy or just like a dark thriller, if you will. So we'll see about that. I'm kind of excited, though. They started working on it now, so who knows when it's going to be ready to go. But I mean, even if Nic Cage wasn't in it, I want to see the show about the alcoholic dragon and how they plan on making that entertaining for us. So stay tuned for that. I'm staying tuned for that. That should be a good time. I do like sometimes those adult cartoons, where you can suspend disbelief and they can get away with a lot more because it's cartoons. It's mostly fakery. They can base it out of, real things, like real current events or stories in history, and then just take a lot of liberties with, how it all goes down. The Simpsons has sort of probably paved the way for that, and then you got like South Park, and then everything since then, Family Guy. Again, BoJack Horseman is a horse that drinks and has, I don't know if he's like a half horse, half guy, or just like horse head, horse face. But you could do whatever you want. Rick and Morty. You could take your imagination of what, imagine how cool it would be if you could do this in real life. But then you can make it a cartoon, and you can do that. And also, you're not going to offend many people because it's a cartoon. So even the people who get easily offended by that shit and try to cancel cartoons, those usually fail. I mean, you've seen South Park try to get canceled 1 billion times, and it doesn't even come close to working because it's a cartoon. So I'm a fan of that, and hopefully I'll be a fan of this High Fire shit, whatever's going on, whatever Nic Cage is working on next. Look, he's on fire right now. And I don't know, pun intended, but he's on high fire right now. Okay? He's crushing it. He is as back as he can be without ever really going anywhere. So I'm excited to see how this plays out. I hope it works out well. And that's it. I'm excited. That's the Cage fact. Excitement. That's the fact. So we'll just move right on along into the junction and spin the logo up over here. Now, I'm dicking around with the technology here. If people in Podcastville who can't see what I'm doing, I'm trying to work on the computer here and testing some out, some tech stuff out. Because again, I like to learn about this stuff. This is one of the reasons why I keep doing this podcast, is to keep learning and trying new things and seeing how it works out. But so last week, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, 4th of July weekend. Everybody I'm sure saw it. But I watched Joey Chestnut do the hot dog eating competition, the Nathan's hot dog eating competition. Now, if you have a weak stomach, I don't suggest watching it. It's It is a table full of competitive eaters sliding wet, soggy hot dogs down their gullet in 10 minutes to see how many they could take down in 10 minutes. And Joey Chestnut has been the repeat winner for years now. I think he won his first one in like maybe 2007, and then he won it every year since except for 2015, where he lost to another guy, Matt Stone. And then he kept winning it after that. So Chestnut is the real deal. And he took down 60 hot dogs this past year. His record is 74 dogs in 10 minutes. Hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes. 74. That's, imagine almost 100 hot dogs in 10 minutes. That's ludicrous. I don't think I've ever even had, I'm trying to think now. I don't think I've had 75 hot dogs in a year. And I love a good hot dog. So he took that. That's his record. He took down another 60. And I'm willing to bet the only reason why he didn't take down 70 or more this year is because of what happened during this competition. If you haven't seen it, he didn't get attacked by, but a protester who I think it was like a fake protester. I think he was protesting like something Star Wars related. I think he had a Darth Vader mask on, and I couldn't really read the sign he had up, but it was something about the Death Star, I think. Maybe that's wishful thinking because the guy was such a MacGruber running into the middle of a competition like that, thinking he was, gonna make a difference, or he was looking for his 15 minutes of fame. I don't know what it was, but he had a mask on, so nobody knows who the hell the guy is. And Joey Chestnut, this guy steps in front of him, and Chestnut latches onto him like the jaws of life, hooks on around this dude's neck, and cranks him around and tosses his beta bitch boy ass to the back. I mean, and then he kept eating dogs. And unfortunately for Chestnut, that 15 seconds of pandemonium there, where he had to stop, that cost him a lot of dogs. Because he was housing them. He was taking them by 2, 3, 4 dogs at a time, stripping the buns, throwing the buns in water, sliding the dogs down a hole, and then eating the mushy buns after. He wasn't even chewing dogs. He was sliding them down. So that's a lot of dogs he missed out on. So I don't know exactly how many he would have got this year. But he had to deal with this protester, and I thought he was going to kill the guy. He was so in the zone. I think Chestnut thought he was a hot dog, and he just grabbed on, and he was about to pop his head off and then just go to town. And then finally, like the people overseeing the event, who were clearly on a time delay, I don't know what the hell they were doing, but by the time they got to the guy, I think the guy was probably dead. I think they dragged his lifeless corpse off the stage because Chestnut ripped his Adam's apple out. He was so in the zone. It was so impressive to see. And that's what got me thinking, like, these people like Chestnut have this innate competitive mindset that it doesn't matter what they're doing, whether it's baseball, basketball, war, whatever it is, they get into that zone and there's nothing stopping them. There's nothing stopping them. And you can see that pattern in all the greats. Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, General Patton. All these top-tier guys in their fields had that competitive edge over people that you can't explain. You don't know where it comes from. You don't know how to get it. They just got it, and that's why they're better than us. And it comes out in examples like this, when a guy like Joey Chestnut, who's a goofball in general, he looks like an awesome dude. I want to hang out with him and be friends with him. But he also looks like just kind of like a boob, a MacGruber, which is fine by me. I am a top tier boob, so I know one when I see one. But he's nothing special to look at as far as like he doesn't look like the guy who plays Aquaman, Jason Momoa. He doesn't look like The Rock, like a larger than life looking character. He's just a guy who likes hot dogs and other foods. Other competitive foods. But he's got that thing inside him that no matter what, when he sets his mind to something, when he has a goal, nothing is going to stop him from accomplishing that goal. Not even some pocket-protecting, needle-dick protester who's protesting something fake. It was the Death Star, something about the Death Star. Well, what the hell was that guy thinking he was doing? To get in front of one of the best ever do it like that, Joey Chestnut. I think he's dead. I think that guy is legit dead. Go back and watch the video. If I can find it on YouTube, I'll pop the clip up here, the link to the clip up in the top right, so you guys can go check it out. But I'm telling you, Chestnut ripped the dude's Adam's apple out like his forearm had such a tight grip on the kid's throat that when he cranked him back, his forearm ripped the Adam's apple out like it was a machete knife, like it was an ISIS beheading. He crushed him because he was in that zone, and that competitive mindset was just so impressive. And that's just something that I feel like all alpha elites have. They have that sort of need to constantly compete at anything. No, at anything in their lives. And it does create a lot of like turmoil and tension in the social lives of those people. They don't usually have a lot of friends. They sort of alienate their family members sometimes because all they do is compete. Everything. I can slap butter on my bagel better than you. I can do more push-ups. I can anything. Read more books. Whatever. Look at more YouTube videos. Anything that you do, they're going to compete against you to be better than you. And it gets exhausting for us beta bitch boy regulars. But this is what kind of sets him apart from the rest. And it was just, and Joey Chestnut was like, he kind of sparked this sort of topic of conversation with me because it was just so impressive to see. Even though it was hot, like I said, it was hot dogs. It was grossing people out because they're shoving food down their gullets like animals. But these people just have that sort of extra gear in them that they have to do something competitive. They have to struggle through something. They can never be stagnant. They have to keep breaking through their comfort zone, finding something new to compete against, to, again, when you break out of your comfort zone and do something for the first time you've never done before, and it's stressful, and it's physically difficult, and it's mentally draining and emotionally taxing. When you're done, you've just expanded your comfort zone. And that feeling of accomplishment that takes over it's unrivaled. And again, it doesn't matter what it is. Okay? I've never eaten more than maybe 3 hot dogs in one sitting. If I sat down in a competition and ate 12 hot dogs, yeah, that's nothing compared to Joey Chestnut, but that's triple than what I've ever had before in one sitting. So I'm going to feel like shit. It's going to be tough to do, but now my comfort zone is expanded out. Now 12 hot dogs is a more normal amount of hot dogs for me to take in. And that's what these true competitors and alpha elites do. They are constantly expanding the comfort zone so that what they're comfortable doing is far and away out of the league of any one of us, anybody else. They're comfortable being uncomfortable. That's where they live. They live in that stressful environment to be able to do something that nobody else can do and do it comfortably. I mean, he wins handedly every year, except for that one year he lost to that other dude, Matt Stoney, who is also a professional competitive eater. And he lost by 2 hot dogs, 62-60, I think it was, something like that. So everybody else, it's not even close. I mean, the closest maybe was 20 hot dogs this year, was a second place jabroni. And that's what these guys do. They struggle to fulfillment. And the fulfillment you get and the sense of accomplishment and victory you feel when you legitimately struggle through something is unbelievable. It's unmatched. I don't know if I've ever felt better about anything in my life when I do something extremely difficult and complete it. And you finish strong and you stay strong. It's unmatched. Maybe if I get married, that'll be a better feeling, or if I have a kid, I don't know. But when it comes to competition and sense of accomplishment, that's how you do it. And you got these, and this is what really was like sort of funny and ironic, but just more annoying than anything else because this happens all the time. But you got these beta bitch boys sitting on their couches for hours at a time, watching TV, eating bonbons, doing nothing with their lives, hating on people like Joey Chestnut, or really any competitor, anybody doing something that seems wild and crazy that they can't do, they're hating on them. And it spreads all over. Like, they hate on the competitive eaters. Oh, this is, they pick apart the negatives. This person is fat. This is so unhealthy. I wouldn't want to do this. I could do it, but I wouldn't want to do this. It's unhealthy, and that person is, not a good person for doing that. So why would I want to do that? Because you get challenged. Oh, you're just pissed because you can't do it. Well, I don't want to do it. Why would I want it? But that's the thing. That's what they are. They're haters. No matter what, because they have some sort of deep-rooted insecurity and unhappiness about themselves, their emotional immediate response is to hate on somebody else for doing something and accomplishing something and being seemingly happy. They see Joey Chestnut hold that trophy over his head while he's got 60 hot dogs in his stomach and he's got a smile on his face, and they hate to see that because they're not getting accolades. They're not holding up the trophy. And again, instead of looking within themselves and taking responsibility and trying to do something and feeling that accomplishment and working towards a goal and earning something, they're just going to hate. They're going to pick apart the negatives. They're going to call them fat. They're going to call them unhealthy. And the losers are everywhere. It's not just the couch potatoes. There's people in the media and the TV that are doing it too, because they continue to want to keep pushing this culture of, it's okay that you're a loser. We're not going to hurt your feelings about it, that you're a loser. It's everybody else's problem that you're a fat, pathetic, useless loser. So every time we see somebody successful, we're going to pick it apart on your behalf, and we're going to put it on TV just to let them know that, this is not what you want to do, folks. So we're going to revalidate the fat, beta, bitch, boy, pussy losers out there and try to discourage these elite competitors and these alphas from trying to do anything we think is crazy and out of the ordinary. And some of these morning shows this past week had doctors on, like, their hired hits, like the people that they come on as representatives every time they want to have a biased medical professional opinion by somebody. They pay this person a lot of money and they say, hey, give us, push this narrative for us, and then because you're a doctor, you can back it up with your medical opinion. So they have all these doctors on there this past week talking about, eating hot dogs are an unhealthy food to begin with. And then if you're going to eat 60 hot dogs in 10 minutes, that's just unhealthy. Your body is not meant to have all those unchewed, undigested hot dogs in your stomach. It expands your stomach, and it's also a choking hazard. They were talking about, it's also a choking hazard if you slide hot dogs down. Yeah, no shit, Dr. Oz, or whoever the hell else is on the TV telling us this. Do you think anybody in their right mind is watching the Nathan's hot dog eating contest? Where the rules of the game are simple. Eat as many hot dogs and buns as you possibly can in 10 minutes. What asshole is sitting there thinking to themselves, I wonder if this is healthy or not? I better hit The View and the morning shows to find out for sure. Hopefully they got a doctor on there that could tell me if this is healthy. And these doctors they have like that shit-eating grin. They do that little laugh where the host asks them, like, you saw this. This is crazy that Joey Chestnut did this competition. What do you have to say for it as far as, the consequences of doing something like this? Oh, well, I could tell you, Susan, it's not healthy. No fucking shit, dude. I mean, give me a break. In what universe is eating 60 hot dogs in 10 minutes healthy? We don't need you getting paid $20,000 for a 5-minute spot on a shitty ball bag and TV show to tell us that eating competitions are not necessarily healthy for you. Thank God you're there to tell our stupid asses what's right and left in this world when it comes to stuff like this. I really wish Joey Chestnut watched that, and I wish that 600-pound behemoth Badlands Booker who won the Lemonade Challenge, I hope he watched that later on too, so he could come to the realization that drinking 5 gallons of lemonade in 30 seconds might not be healthy for him. The guy's 600 pounds. His tits are heavier than me. Each titty is heavier than me. And his nickname is Badlands. You don't think he knows what he's doing is unhealthy? Drinking 5 gallons of liquid insulin and sugar and diabetes? I mean, the dude celebrated his victory of the Lemonade Challenge by getting a massive triple bypass heart surgery. He got a celebratory heart surgery to fix his arteries because he knows how bad that's how bad this shit is. That's how unhealthy it is. And to just assume everyone's so stupid and that these competitors are stupid too and they don't know what the hell they're doing is just, it's absolutely embarrassing and sad to think that these people on TV just completely think we're absolute idiots. They could never think lower of a human race than they do about the American citizens who watch their shows. And you could say it about everybody. Fox News, MSN, The View, ABC. They all think we're just absolutely stupid. And that they have to put these experts on to tell us what's right and wrong. We have to tell you, because if you didn't automatically breathe on your own, you'd probably need help with that too, you stupid idiots. And we really have to have a talking to these eating competitors to let them know how unhealthy it is too. Like Joey Chestnut doesn't know what he's doing is unhealthy. Go look at all these competitors, by the way. All the top, food challenge competitors, Eric the Electric, Mark Stoney, Rick Sandell, I think his name is. Kobayashi is one of the OGs in the hot dog eating game anyway. All these people are shredded. They're ripped. Because they know what they're doing. Okay, they know this is unhealthy. On competition eating day, this is an unhealthy day, so I have to, A, train for it, and B, eat right and have a healthy diet to prepare appropriately so that I'm not killing myself. And they all do that. They all exercise 5 to 7 times a week. They have very disciplined diets. They're training not only their muscles and cardio and burning calories, but they're training their stomachs to expand, to be able to expand more so they can take it in. So it's not the first time that their stomach is taking in hot dogs is going to be 60 in one clip. I mean, these people, this is how they make their money. This is their jobs and their livelihood. So to just assume that they don't know what the hell they're doing is just so arrogant and egotistical and ignorant. And any other big 3-syllable word that you can think of that I certainly can't right now, it's just absolutely, again, embarrassing. I mean, people ought to be ashamed of themselves that they've been able to get away this long with treating us like absolute morons. I mean, these guys are in top physical condition to do something like this. Joey Chestnut didn't just wake up in 2007 on July 4th in the morning. It was like, I'm going to head over to Coney Island and see what this hot dog eating competition is all about. And then, 15 however many years later, he's still doing it, but he doesn't train, doesn't know anything. I haven't died yet, so I'm just going to keep going and see what happens. I didn't do any research in the past 15 years on this to see how to get better or to stay healthy, but, we'll see. I mean, give me a break. The moral of this all is that this is what happens when you are dealing with alpha elite competitors. When they have that inexplicable circuitry going on in their brain that they have to compete at such a high level all the time, that what happens is other people don't understand it, okay? And you get a lot of hate for it. And you get shunned and ostracized and made fun of and talked down to, condescended. Because when people don't understand things and something is new and different in their lives, that's sort of part of the survival instinct that kicks in our brains is something different is usually negative. We always go to the negative. So when you don't understand something, you got that survival instinct that kicks in. You have the ego that's sort of sticking around in there. You got your pride, and that's what happens. You initially automatically go to the negative and be a hater and hate on this. Hate on Joey Chestnut for sliding dog daddies down like it's nobody's business. And trying to find the justification why you couldn't do it and wouldn't do it. And you try to back it with logic. Even though we really just know that we're jealous. I wish I had the ability to do something crazy like that. To be that disciplined for that long, to train and prepare and get to the point where I can take down 60 hot dogs in 10 minutes and not only survive, but be happy and get rewarded for it with a trophy and some money. And then be healthy after. I wish I could do that. But I'm not going to sit here and hate on the guy because I can't do it. It's not his fault. It's my fault. It's my choice that I'm not even going to try to do it because I am a beta bitch boy and I don't know if I could get past that comfort zone. And it's like that for a lot of things. And I think a big reason why a lot of people feel that way, that negative all the time, is because they don't take that self-responsibility for their actions or inactions in life and don't even try to break out of their comfort zone and get that sense of accomplishment. They want the end result without the upfront work and sacrifice in there. And I think if more people actually did something like that, obviously it doesn't have to be eating competitions. Those are wild and very difficult. But just break out of your comfort zone. Do something that you've never done before, that you're nervous about. And then see how you feel afterwards. Even if you never do it again, you know you can do it. You survived. You finished whatever it is. And now your comfort zone is bigger. And you get that feeling of accomplishment. And I promise you it's better than getting gifted anything in life. Handouts have an initial dopamine rush, you feel cool, you feel great, and it's fleeting. But when you earn something like that, like the Nathan's Hot Dog competition prizes, that stays with you. And you want more of it. And you want to go out and work harder to get more of it. And again, that's really the moral of the story is sort of block out the haters. If you have a goal in mind in life, and it's not a stupid goal like I want to rob 12 banks. Let's be realistic here. If it's a goal in mind that I want to be a better competitive shooter, or I want to be able to juggle a soccer ball 100 times in a row without it dropping. Whatever it might be, you're going to get haters, okay? No matter what. I know everybody wants to get nothing but accolades and say you're doing well. I'm the same way with this podcast. I want thousands and thousands of people to all come and say and comment, oh, this is great. This is the best show ever. I love it, this and that. But that's just not how it is. You're going to get hate. Even if something's good, not like this show. This show sucks. I suck. But other people, you're going to get hate. It's going to come from lack of understanding, some sort of insecurity and jealousness and what have you, and ego. But you got to power through. If you got the goal in mind, you got to block out the hate. You got to know it's coming and focus eyes on the prize, the task at hand, until you can accomplish that task. And then when the haters come at you afterwards, you won't even care. You'll be like, good. Like, you'll feel so happy and accomplished about what you just finished that you won't even know these haters exist. They'll just be in the background. They'll be like looking at it in a camera in the unfocused background that nobody even notices. I was going to say notices about, but that's not a grammatically correct sentence. So, but that's all I got today. Moral of the story for the 15th time. If you want to, compete at something and accomplish a goal, compete. Stay in the zone. Forget the haters. Get that competitive edge. Feel what it, learn what it feels like. Experience it. And that's it. That's all I got for this. Joey Chestnut got me on a rant. Good job, Joey. You did it. Before I go, though, the big three real quick. And this is, this helps. This helps when you're accomplishing goals, too. It's the 3 pillars to staying strong and being a better, happier, more stress-free person and being able to spread that goodness to the masses. Number 1, exercise every day. Joey Chestnut is not sitting on his Barcalounger with his hands in a Howie's hand muff every day after the competition. All right? He's getting his ass back out there and he's training. He's exercising. He's burning calories. He's getting his body prepared for the task at hand. Okay? Just like football players. All right? Football's not healthy. I mean, all these guys are shredded and jacked and ripped and strong, but football's not healthy. MMA is not healthy. You're beating the shit out of each other, literally, with fists and kicks and chokings, trying to kill the other guy. Football, you're trying to hit the guy as hard as you can to knock his ass out and get CTE. All right? These things are not healthy for you. So you got to train and prepare your body and your mind appropriately, and no better way to do that than by exercising every day. It's the easiest thing to do. You'll feel better physically, mentally, emotionally. Number 2, the hardest one, don't be a shitty person. Don't sit there on your computers or your phones and lob trash out at people. Serious trash, hate against people, trolling them, being an asshole, being mean to people you never met before. Just because it's the comfort of your home, behind your phone, and you're just shit-talking a profile after all. It's not a human being. Well, it is a human being. Okay? It is a human being. And you feel like absolute shit when people hate on you for no reason. So do they. Okay? They have the same feelings we do. So think about that before you decide to take those jabs and those little gotcha Instagram posts in your story or in people's comments. It doesn't do any good to anybody for any reason. It never does any good. So if you're trying to do good by doing that, it's not working. You got to change your tactic. Okay? If you're trying to be an asshole, maybe step back and think about why you want to be an asshole to people. Why you want to do that. Why that's the kind of person you want to be. Think about that. Okay? So number 2, don't be a shitty person. Number 3, the most important one, be genuinely thankful and grateful for all the good you have in your lives. Most important one. If you are living a life that's focused on the gratitude and being thankful for all the good that you have, you're going to be a better, happier person. You're going to be a more fulfilled, content human being. Just in general. And I'm not saying throw all your problems under a rug and sweep them under there and keep them hidden and all your negatives and forget about it and avoid them. No. But I'm saying if you take the second each day to consciously focus on the good you have in your life before you go about your day, whatever you're doing, just think about it. You're setting yourself up for success for the day. You know, hey, whatever bad happens, I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to push through it. I'm not going to let it overcome me. I'm not going to become a victim to it. I'm going to get through the hurdles. And I know that at the end of the day, I still have all this good in my life. So it's not worth incapacitating myself or ruining somebody else's day because of that. And you get that in your brain, and you couple that with not being a shitty person, and you couple that with exercising every day, and the wheels are in motion to you being a better, happier person who stays strong. And then people see that, and then they in turn try to follow suit. Okay? Good's contagious. We say it all the time here. Good is contagious. So let's spread the good by following the big 3. Thank you guys for listening today. I don't know if this is any good. You tell me. I enjoyed it. I like talking about stuff like this. These are very sort of unique situations where there's a lot of good to be found in these particular situations, like eating hot dogs. You don't have to just focus on the obvious that hot dogs are unhealthy for you and eating 60 in 10 minutes is unhealthy. Like, that is the most obvious statement I've ever heard. And the fact that the doctors are saying it with that shit-eating grin on, like they just told us, how to cure cancer, is mind-boggling to me. But anyway, thank you guys for listening. Don't forget, hit the hotline. 202-670-1114. Whatever it's got to be, hit it. Just call me. Hey, Libretti, you're an asshole. Okay, stay strong. Boom. Next hotline call. Whatever you got to do, just call the hotline. It's a fun time. We'll put it on the show if you want. If you need advice about something, if you have a topic you want me to talk about, throw it on the hotline. And then tell your friends about it and tell them to call the hotline. Even if you're trolling, I'm here for it all. Okay? So call the hotline, 202-670-1114. Like and subscribe, all this stuff. I see you bastards watching my YouTubes and listening to my iTunes and not liking it. I don't appreciate it. But thanks also for listening and watching too. So that was cool of you guys. So thank you for everything. I love you all. Stay strong.